let's fly away.
It's Friday, EasyJet's busiest day of the week, and airports all over Britain have been flung into chaos. The reason? The brand new computer that handles air traffic control in the south of England has crashed. In Luton, almost half of EasyJet's flights are either delayed or cancelled.
I don't very often get the opportunity to do this. I'm desperate to get out there. I don't know whether I can get on another flight, so I've just got to hang around, and it's just so annoying.
Belinda Farley isn't feeling optimistic. She and her husband have left their 2 children with a relative to take their first romantic break for 6 years. A weekend in Amsterdam.
It's my husband's birthday 2 weeks ago. It was our wedding anniversary last week. It's my birthday on Monday. We wanted to go just for 2 nights to Amsterdam, returning very late Sunday night. I don't think it's going to happen. No way.
So you must have known an
I
hour
only
ago.
found out 15 minutes ago.
Well, it was on that board when we were here earlier.
Not an hour ago.
I just telephoned the customer services and they say the 503 is not cancelled.
The 503
So I mean,
is
that's
cancelled.
what we've just phoned up as well.
Yeah, but your own people don't know that.
It's just, it was only a recent amendment that will be communicated to everybody now.
No. What's the very earliest we can get out?
There's
Sunday?
no flights tomorrow. You're looking at the next following day to get out.
Sunday, the earliest.
At the moment,
And that won't be busy at all, will it?
no.
Much.
Babe,
It's just not good enough, is it? They brag about cheap flights and we do away with all the nitty-gritty of checking in and booking cards and no meals and stuff like that. Perhaps if they sorted out their customer services, people wouldn't mind paying it.
Liverpool's John Lennon Airport has also been affected by the computer crash, with long delays affecting southbound flights. But luckily for airport manager Angus Troop, the atmosphere is decidedly relaxed.
Just about everything's been delayed this morning. We can operate Belfast okay, as it doesn't involve too much of London. But the rest of the flights down to Spain, France have all been badly delayed this morning. Everybody seems to be in a pretty good mood so far. It's a Friday. They're sitting back there in the bar. Hopefully they can keep the spirits up until they get back over to Amsterdam or wherever it is they're off to.
Friday is stag party day at the airport, and for husband-to-be Neil Byron and his 27 friends, an indefinite delay means a chance to put the airport bar through its paces. Neil's dad, Tony, is leading the drinking campaign.
We should have been just taxiing along, alongside the River Mersey, ready to head off into the open skies, heading off to the beaches of Mallorca. But unfortunately, we're stuck in here, drinking beer. I'm trying to drown my sorrows. I hope EasyJet aren't going to be like they have been in the past with drunken people. I'm just going to pretend to be I've fainted so they can carry me on.
Obviously we don't allow them to drink too much, but they need to pass the time somehow, and there's a lot of time to pass today, I'm afraid.
Back in Luton, while the crisis is getting worse,
May I have your attention, please?
it sounds like there's good news for the Farleys.
Any passengers traveling to Amsterdam, can you proceed to the check-in desk number 60?
It looks like they'll get their hard-earned romantic break after all.
Okay, if you're on the following flights, that's the EZY215 to Amsterdam. Unfortunately, we have had no other option, but we have had to cancel these flights. So the best option is for you to go home.
It's diabolical. It's absolutely disgusting that people have to put up with this. I've waited 6 years for this. I've got 2 children with my mother-in-law. We were only going for 2 nighs. It's absolutely disgusting. I could jump over there and just strangle somebody, to be quite honest.
Fortunately for Leo, the Farleys decide instead to take his advice and go home. It's a nightmare day too for Geneva passenger Claire Nifton.
Suddenly the tannoy comes up saying they've cancelled our flight. It's the weekend when I'm going out to see my boyfriend. I haven't seen him for ages, and I've had it planned for ages. And there'll be nothing I can do about it. And he's in Geneva and he's feeling the same, so that's it.
Her only hope of catching a later flight to join the queue of people at the customer service desk. Back in Liverpool, there's a setback for the delayed stag party. They've done some serious damage to the airport's beer supply.
We're still on the ale. We've run out of bitters. You know, we've drank it all. There's none left. You know, all this delays has made us thirsty. So the only thing we can do is drink.
Cheers.
Then airport manager Angus Troop gets a call. The stag party's flight to Palma can be rerouted away from the air traffic trouble spot. Their delay is over.
It's not too bad. I mean, we've had longer delays at airports than this. It just gets frustrating when you're only going away for a couple of days.
At last, Neil's stag weekend can get underway. In Luton, 1,700 passengers have been told they can't fly. After waiting in the customer services queue for over an hour, Claire Nifton is not impressed. It's up to passenger service agent Jana Wyatt to come up with some answers.
Hi. On the Geneva flight. Right. We don't know what's going on. I want to know when I'm going to get on a flight. I don't want to stand here for an hour in a queue to be told that I have to ring a phone number and be kept on hold for half an hour listening to recorded messages saying I can have my money back.
I appreciate that the queue is extremely long, but we are trying to get through you all as quickly and, you know, as efficiently as we can do. But the volume of passengers that we have today, it is going to be a slow process. And unfortunately, it is something that is out of EasyJet's control. We have no control over air traffic control whatsoever.
Well, I'm just going to have to wait now, just like everybody else.
But not for long.
Look how long the queue is.
Leo's come up with a solution to cut the queue, but it's not going to be popular.
OK, the customer service desk is now closing. We don't have the facility to do transfers here any further. Air traffic control has failed. The queue goes right round to the airport.
Well, you've just got
We
to wait.
can't.
You've just got to clear
The
it.
customer service desk, it has to be closed now. We don't have the facility to cope with this. I'm sorry.
Customer support's a computer.
OK, if you bear with me for...
No, that's right, walk away.
It's just told us that they're closing the service desk down. And that's it. But we've been waiting in the queue for 2 hours.
What are you queuing here for?
I'm queuing here because I came here. You cancelled my flight, no forward information, and
Right.
and then
We've been
you want to
doing
close the desk.
we've been doing our best to issue letters.
When are you doing the
what to
letters?
do.
Now?
These were going.
Never fly easier.
When are you doing the letters? You want to give us a letter now?
You can
When
contact
the
customer
flight,
support.
you could have called us
We're
in
not
the morning.
doing transfers
Fair
here
enough.
anymore.
Everybody on this queue deserves to be seen. This piece of paper you're giving me is total crap.
We can't do anything.
I'm sorry, it's just not on. We were all standing here. Look how long the queue goes, and he comes along 5 minutes late, 2 hours later with some piece of A4 sheet paper. He needs to forget that paper. I want my money back. I want it back on my card, and I can go away. And I know, fine, I'm not going on holiday, but I could do something else this weekend.
For Claire, it's time to break the bad news to her boyfriend.
I got to the customer services desk, and they turned the computers off just as I got there, and just said, "That's it." And I just couldn't believe it. I'm just so tired. I've just stood in that queue for 2 hours, and they just walked away. And I said, "All I want to know is if I can get on a flight tomorrow night." And they said, "We can't tell you." They said, "You're going to have to dial that number." And I just wish they'd said in 2 hours' time we're going to close the desk or whatever. There's a lack of information again. And everybody's the same. Everyone's the same.
All she can do is head off home. It's the next morning. Flights are back to normal. And in Liverpool, passenger service agent Julie McGee is helping a celebrity passenger to plan a trip to Belfast. Frank Carson.
Day before yesterday, I had a phone call from Ulster Television when I do a programme because somebody had dropped out. But it's all right, they know that Frank's never stuck for words. You know what Spike Milligan said? What's the difference between Frank Carson and the M1? He can turn off the M1. That's the way I tell him, isn't it?
Unfortunately, there's no quick exit for the girls, so Frank's found himself a captive audience.
Have we met before, you know? Finally, Miss World, you were robbed. I was one of the judges. Hope you do better than the Horse of the Year show at Wembley. And the last time I travelled, there was an old priest beside me. And he gave me a glass of wine. He said, the Pope drinks that. I said it's very strong. No wonder he falls on his knees when he gets off the plane.
There's no respite.
I was sitting on a plane and there was a gentleman beside me who'd never been on a plane. And he was very nervous. And I said, have a drink then? He said, yes, I'll have a whiskey. So I had a whiskey and he says, what'll I do if I want another drink? I said, just press the button up there. So I'm sipping away at the whiskey and he's sipping away at his whiskey, but he's drank his in one and he's got the glass up and he's going... It's the way I tell him, isn't it?
Julie decides the only means of escape is to play Frank at his own game.
And I can say what you can say. It's the way I tell him.
I didn't like that.
In Luton, there's another very important passenger waiting to check in for the Glasgow flight, Gizmo, and his training instructor, Claire Arrowsmith.
What he does is, obviously his owner's deaf, and when a sound goes off in the house, he'll run to her, touch her by scrabbling against her, and when she asks him what is it, he'll direct her to the phone or the door by leading her there. If the smoke alarm goes off, he'll come and tell her and he'll lie down so that she knows that it's a danger sound and he doesn't lead her to the fire.
It's a special day for Gizmo. He's learning to fly so that he can accompany his owner on holiday later in the year. But there's a hitch. Gizmo and Claire have missed their plane.
Traffic this morning, so we're getting on the next one. I hope. Hey, Gizmo. His owner's desperate to have him back, so we have to get on this flight.
But passenger service agent Mark Pearce hasn't been told about Gizmo's flying lesson.
I hope so. Yeah, I was sitting on the 9:20 to Glasgow.
Right.
Hopefully I can...
Is that with the dog?
Yes.
Can't take pets on board.
It's a hearing dog. It's already been
Oh, is it? Oh, right, that's
yes.
okay then.
Yeah, sorry. No.
To which one was it, sorry?
Glasgow,
To
the
Glasgow.
9:20, I think it was supposed to be.
Okay, there's another one at 5:10 we'll get you on.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
thank you.
So it's all been cleared for the dog to go through,
Yes.
is it?
Yeah, it's arranged in my work.
Okay, all done for you then. You can check in over 42 and 43. All right, all done
Brilliant,
for you.
thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Easy as that.
We don't usually accept dogs, and as soon as you see a dog, you sort of jump into mode and no, you can't take that on board with you. But it was a hearing dog for the deaf, I suppose, and don't really know much to do about dogs. But they are allowed to travel, hearing dogs and dogs of the blind. And I hear it's his first flight. Nervous passengers, nervous dogs. Just hope they've got a few tissues for maybe little messes.
I'm more stressed about missing the flight than he is.
As Gizmo heads off to earn his wings, 200 miles away in Liverpool, the Amsterdam check-in has just closed. But passenger Joe Martucci is not happy. He's been left behind.
No, excuse me, I was right there.
The
Where it
check-in
says
closes
EasyJet.
half an hour before
I know, I was there a
departure.
half hour before
Well, you
departure.
would have been on the flight.
No one was there. That's the whole thing. Give me a supervisor because I'm pissed. Because I was there. If you have your people over there doing their job, it wouldn't be a problem. I don't understand this. I really don't.
Well, I don't
And you sitting there saying
understand.
that person was there, and I don't understand that either because you know what? I was over there for 5 minutes walking around before I walked over here, and I walked over here like 2 minutes after what you're saying the check-in time was. And then you're saying the supervisor won't even come out and talk to me till after the flight leaves, which is even more bogus. I was there. And you know what? I could have made the flight if you didn't jerk me around.
That check-in closes dead on time. We have to close dead on time. We can't close a minute before or a minute after.
They must have because I was over there. There was nobody there. The girl was actually in the back room. I was trying to get her attention.
Because the check-in was closed.
He finally decides to accept a transfer onto a later flight, but not without a protest.
You know, put me on another flight, but you know what? It's the last time I fly EasyJet, I'll tell you that. But your attitude sucks. For a customer service rep, your attitude sucks. You have the worst attitude I've ever met anybody. So,
Check-in opens 2 hours before departure.
did you write your name on here?
Yeah. It's on the top.
What's your last name, baby?
I'm just giving you my first name. I'm the only Debbie that works here. I don't have to
Do you have an employee number?
No, it's just...
Because I need to know who I need to complain to.
Aviation. There you go.
Thank you. I'm a little angry. because I could have made that flight. I wouldn't have held the jet up. I mean, her first thing she said the flight was full, and then she said no, it closed. So I don't know what it was, but angry that, you know, I asked to talk to the supervisor, and the supervisor wouldn't come out till after the plane already left. So I'm a little upset.
It's their fault that they're late, but they take out on us because we won't accept them. You know for a fact that I actually closed the check-in about 4 or 5 minutes late. He's had a problem with one of my bags, so obviously he wasn't in the place where we thought he should have been. And I believe he said that I ignored him. I mean, I didn't even see him. He wasn't there.
In Luton, Air Cadet Gizmo has joined his fellow passengers for the one aspect of flying nobody likes, the long wait in departures.
OK then, bye.
It's up to Supervisor Mary Hosier to prepare the crew of the 1105 to Glasgow for their special four-legged passenger.
If I take all your stuff here.
Gizmo's keen to get airborne.
Can't rush down the steps yet. Can't go yet, sweetheart. Just keep you here for a minute. We've got a wheelchair escort that's got to go on board. And then we will get this young little animal on board as well, so the crew can get him familiarised with the plane. Gizmo! Hello, Gizmo! Hello, darling. Hello, darling. I have the lady with the hearing dog for the deaf. Did you want me to get them walked out now? That's lovely, darling. They're on their way. Tina, do you want to escort the lady? Yeah, they're going now. Tina's going to take the lady out now.
In just over an hour, Gizmo, the hearing dog, will be a fully qualified airline passenger.
Good boy. He's happy and relaxed. I don't think there's going to be any problems. Yeah, this is going well. Hey, good boy.